Brian Ortega, 16-3. Versus Diego Lopes, 25-6. American versus Brazilian. It doesn't get bigger than this. Number 3 versus number 12 in the featherweight division. And Ortega's still on the outside looking in, right? I mean, you got Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria getting ready to get after it. Of course, you got Volkanovski still in there. And then Ortega. That's the way it sets up right now. Mark Goddard, the ref, and this fight's getting ready to get started. And you got to love the uniforms. And, you know, normally you got like the Octagon girls that come in and do their thing, but this time you got the same thing, but all Mexican heritage. Fancy hats, face paint, and all. But listen, it's fight time. Both guys touch gloves. Here we go. Diego Lopes, a fast starter. We'll see, but he only lands like 3.5 significant strikes per minute. So how fast can you be? And as his fight's underway, I'm just really curious to see how Ortega's going to play this fight out. Does he want to take this fight to the ground? Or does he want to test Lopes on the feet first? I think he's going to test him on the feet first, and then we'll see what happens. Oh! Ortega takes a big left already. He landed a right and took a left at the same time. And nearly went down. Oh my gosh, Lopes is on top. Ortega pounding away. I can't believe it. And now he takes the back. And he takes Ortega down. This is crazy. Come on, T-City, get it together, baby. Now an elbow, and he's on top pounding away, and Ortega's in a little bit of trouble here. Wow. And a big left by Lopes. This is hard to believe. And, you know, I was listening prior to the fight, and they're saying what a fast starter Lopes is. But when I look at the numbers, it's hard to justify that. But unless he just slows down big time later. But he's putting together a fast start here in the first 90 seconds. Landing a big strike on Ortega, he went down. Or not went down, kind of moved around a little bit. Then he eventually went down, got picked up and taken back down. So credit a takedown there for Lopes. He's looking at about a minute of control already. He's pounding away with the right. Now he's trying to get to the full mount. Ortega's got his feet in the fence. He's got to be careful here. And it seems like a full round. It's only been 2 minutes. And the sphere is packed now. I mean, it's only like people on half, you know, half the side with the big background, but still packed. What, 10,000 people? Lopes still in firm control here. Is he going to let Ortega up? He does. Okay. Okay. Lopes feeling it on the feet, so he's going to let Ortega up. Ooh. Come on, T-City, let's go. I need you now. Yeah, T-City's going to be around. He's not going anywhere unless he just gets it finished. 21-4 in significant strikes. Golly. There you go. There you go, T-City. Come on, baby. Keep landing that jab. Keep landing that jab. Yep. And now Ortega's standing righty to righty, so this looks better to me. That's the advantage of being a switch stance fighter. Is you can match up with your opponent opposite stance or same stance. What do you like? And the crowd living off every strike. I mean, they're loud, as you would expect. We've already seen a lot of action tonight. We've seen some decisions, but good ones. A couple of finishes. Mexican fighters not faring very well earlier in the night. And we'll talk about that throughout the night. A couple of Brazilians finished Mexicans. And again, we learned our lesson not to go against the Brazilians. But we did it here again. And a nice elbow by Lopes, who's clearly dominating this round. 29-12 in significant strikes, head strikes, 26-9. It's been all up top. And you get worried, because you see a guy like Ortega and you're like, he's been such a staple for so long. You think he's going to keep rising and get another title shot. But if he goes down tonight, that's definitely not happening, right? So a lot of intense moments coming here as this round gets ready to close. Nice leg kick by Ortega. But that's not going to do it. The bottom line is Diego Lopes looked great in round one. Now we look at these images outside the sphere showing the replays. I mean, that's crazy. Like you're just driving along in Vegas. And this huge screen is just showing all the replays. Everybody that's at this thing is lucky. Everybody there is lucky. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the ticket prices to get in there, forget about it. All right, T-City getting cleaned up in the corner. That's important. He looks fresh. He looks all right. Got to let that go. And you got to get mad now. Because now Ortega's back is against the wall. He either needs a finish or he's got to win the next two rounds. No, there's just no other way about it. And if we do fall here, things are going to get real interesting. 4-4 going into the last two. I don't like that. Because the next two are no guarantees either way. 2 titles on the line following this fight. Grasso, Shevchenko 3, and I just can't wait for that one. Someone said nobody wants to see that fight this week. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh, big right and left by Lopes, starting the round looking good. And then, of course, we got Merab versus Sean. Bantamweight title on the line. So women's flyweight, men's bantamweight on the line tonight. I don't care what anybody says. I'm tuning in regardless, but if O'Malley's fighting, definitely tuning in, baby. Gotta love it. And Lopes still continuing with the activity. And it's just surprising. It doesn't look like the normal Brian Ortega. Just doesn't. Now he's going to shoot him for a takedown. Let's see if he likes this angle. He can't get it. And he lets go. And Ortega kind of scratches his head. In a look that he's kind of like, nothing seems to be working right now. So you got to forget all the game plan. Maybe forget the takedown right now. And you just got to go in and be aggressive. Because Ortega, I mean, the guy is a fighter, right? I mean, the guy is a fighter. So he finds himself in a tough situation now. He's got to answer the call. But this round's slipping away very quickly. 2:10 gone. And the numbers are more even in this round for sure. So the round's definitely up for grabs. Another thing to take into consideration is how much weight Lopes cuts and how much of an effect that has on his cardio. Oh, big right by Lopes. Big left by Ortega. Okay. Starting to even up a little bit here now. You got to win this round, T-City. Oh, nice leg kick by Lopez. Oh my gosh. Round one in the books for Lopez as he lands a left-right combination. This round up for grabs. Now Ortega. Oh, Ortega gets taken off his feet. He's on the ground, and Lopez is going to let him up. And that was a sweep, ladies and gentlemen, an old school karate sweep. .125 left here. Round two. Nice left by Ortega. Very close. This next minute is very important for Ortega. He's got to win this round to make things interesting. Another leg kick by Lopez. Luckily for Ortega, lifted his leg at the last second. 50 seconds left in the round. Ortega, you got to go. You got to go. Come on, you got to finish the round strong. Got to get this round. And I mean, it's close. I mean, Lopez has been up by 25 significant strikes the whole round, so it's basically even. That means whoever finishes stronger here in these final 25 could get the round. Well, I don't know. I don't know. T-City, you're not doing enough after the first. You're not doing enough. Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure we'll see the numbers for that round, but it's close. Yeah, I mean, Lopez still up by 25. I didn't see how it started, but after the first minute, Lopez was up by 25 significant strikes the whole round. So that's telling me it's pretty close to even. That means it's a toss-up. And if I'm Ortega's corner, I'm telling him you probably need to finish. Let's just be real. You got to go off this round. Tell you what, his corner's doing a good job. Cleanup man's doing a good job getting Ortega cleaned up after the rounds, that's for sure. Boy, and you see the second round too, you see some big strikes by Lopez. He just landed the tougher strikes. And then he takes Ortega. Yeah, yeah. All right, just looking at the quick highlights, Ortega's got to be up probably 2-0. Just off optics alone. Forget the numbers. And here we go. Both guys circling the octagon, walking back and forth now. Trying to get the crowd pumped up. And here we go. Mark Goddard says, let's get it. These guys touch gloves twice and we're on. Final round. And see, I don't even know if T-City knows what's going on. If you get stuck in these fights, he might have thought, you know, I did pretty good at round two. Look at his calf. His leg kicks are paying off by Lopez. But I hope his corner, which we couldn't really hear, but I hope his corner said, hey, you need to finish. You need to finish. And everybody on X saying, yep, 2-0 Lopez. That's how I see it too. Ortega has not looked himself tonight. You know, is there something going on there? Or is it just what Lopez has brought to the table? It's hard to say. But Ortega does not look like the fighter we've always seen. He's just been off balance too. And it could really just be those big strikes early on. Just slow down Ortega, who's beginning to pick up the pace here, but so is Lopez. Sometimes those big strikes early in the fight just take your power away the rest of the fight. And that could very well be the case. Because Lopez still looks just as powerful. Now, Ortega's whipping the jabs, but Not nearly good enough to finish his fight, at least right now. Doesn't appear that way. And if Lopez goes on to win here, it's just a huge victory for him. Back-to-back fights, right? He'll be in the top 5. If Ortega falls, he's going to fall to 5 or 6 for sure. And then what do you do? This would be a terrible loss for Ortega. It's hard to overstate. And it just doesn't seem like Lopez is under any pressure. He looks totally comfortable in there. He's trading well. Ortega comes in for the takedown, but will that matter? There's 2:30 left unless you can get the finish, right? But Lopez stuffs it and shoves him off. And you think about that. Ortega's got a decent ground game, right? He gets 1 or 2 every fight on average. And he's got 0 right now. Nada. Nothing. Let's go. Let's go, Ortega. Let's go. You got to pick it up, man. He is, but he just don't seem like he's got the power. And he takes a jab. Yeah, he just doesn't have the power. Oh, takes a right and left. And Ortega grabs his face. And what's going through T-City's mind? Because he's just not able to muster anything tonight. He's just not able to do anything against Lopez, who has utilized a little bit of control time. He had a takedown for a little over 2 minutes, but really, if it continues this way, 13 minutes and Ortega landed 31 significant strikes right now. That's half his normal rate. It's not good. And these are the moments, ladies and gentlemen, where guys that have had well respected and long careers, and you see that one fight where it's like, okay, they're no longer there. And that's what we're seeing right now, potentially, with Brian Ortega. And he'll still fight, right? Guys stay around after that. They fight it out for a few years. But will he ever be the same? A big left by Lopez drops Ortega. And this is a terrible look in the final 20 seconds. And this is just going to be a career performance for sure for Diego Lopez. He's now trying to get a submission here. It's not going to happen. Ortega gets off. And Ortega's pounding away, lands a big left. These guys are swinging at the bell, and that's it. And a big left to finish the fight by Lopez, who absolutely dominated this fight. I mean, that's it. He dominated the fight. Absolutely dominated this fight. And so now it's just a waiting game. I mean, 64 to 39 in total strikes, 63-33 in significant strikes. This is all in favor of Lopez, easy. 44-23 in head strikes. And it seemed like there was a lot more action as you're watching it than there was in terms of the numbers, right? You go back to the previous fight and you had 2 guys that were both over 100 significant strikes. Ribovich was darn near 200. These guys are 60 and 30. Yeah. Wow. And I think that's what happened is they showed the replay in round 1 in slow motion. You see Ortega takes the big strike early in round 1. And to me, I think that took all his power away. Now, he's a competitor. He's going to keep coming, right? If anything, normally he gets tougher after that. But these were some big ones. And is just enough early on to take the legs out of Brian Ortega. Mm. Wow. Gosh, these highlights for Lopez are ridiculous, man. I mean, this guy's going to win by dominating performance. Gosh. Yeah, we're going to be down to 4-4. Might have to sweat out these last two fights. Any hopes of a great night is probably slipping away on this one. Oh, baby. Dang, Lopez. Why you had to do him like that? Dang. 30-26, 30-27, and 30-27. Yeah. So Diego Lopez is going to get the win, the Brazilian. So three times a night. So when I do these predictions and some of y'all get on me and I say I'm going with the Brazilian just 'cause we went against the Brazilian three times a night and they won all three. Never again, man. I learned my lesson tonight in great detail. But that's the way it goes. Diego Lopez gets the big win. He's going to be top five. Got a lot to talk about with this fight tomorrow on the podcast again. Stay tuned for that. But this is a wrap here. Featherweight division, UFC 306.